I'm Charlotte McLeod with the Investing News Network, and here today with me is Dessi, Chief Revenue Officer at Diamond Standard. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
Great to see you, and we are here at BRIC. Very exciting to be at an in-person event. I haven't had much chance to go down to the floor, so what are you seeing down there? How is it?
It has been so exciting and 3 people deep at our booth. There's lots of excitement around the Diamond Standard coins and everything that Diamond Standard is doing. Many of the retail investors realize that this is a first of its kind, a one and only, and a exceptionally unique opportunity for investors that find themselves at an amazing show like BRIC.
Great. And so we spoke with Cormac Kinney a couple of months ago. So some of our audience remembers we got the basics, but now we have your products right here. I wondered if you could give us a brief look at what exactly is going on.
Sure, I always like to, savvy myself as the interpreter for Cormac because the man is a genius. And when Cormac came up with this idea, he realized that the diamond market tended to be dysfunctional and applied his quant mind to figuring out how to unlock a $1.2 trillion market. So when you look at other metals like palladium, rhodium, all of those individual metals have about 15% of the globally harvested silver that's out there in the world is held as an investment by individuals who want to hedge against inflation, diversify their portfolios. But of the $1.2 trillion worth of diamonds, less than 1% was held as an investment. We've effectively unlocked that by creating the Diamond Standard, the literal Diamond Standard. And on the floor, you can feel that energy at the event because retail investors know that we have a suite of financial products that are coming down the line right now that will open this up to institutions. And retail investors know that if they're investing in the Diamond Standard coin, they won't have this opportunity again.
Right. And so speaking with Cormac, the focus was really on the physical products as we see here.
Sure.
I know that there are other things in the works such as the Diamond Standard Fund. So can you go into that a little bit?
Sure. It's very exciting because we've partnered with Horizon Kinetics. And with that partner, a few weeks back, we launched the Diamond Standard Fund. It's a little bit different than purchasing a Diamond Standard coin and or a Diamond Standard bar on our website because you need to be an accredited investor. It's a $25,000 minimum, where today the coin is trading at about $6,400 and the bar at about $64,000. You need to hold that investment for at least a year, but we're seeing a lot of excitement around the fund launch and a lot of interest on the fund.
Right, and the way it's kind of been explained to me is similar to the Sprott Trust in the uranium market. So I wondered if you could go into that because we have an audience that's very familiar with uranium and the Sprott Trust, and I think that will help it click.
Well, just as with uranium and Sprott Trust, it was a first of its kind to unlock an investment potential, that tends to be where people's heads go, where nobody really thought of diamonds as an investment prior to Diamond Standard by creating the Diamond Standard like the 0.99 in gold. So when the Sprott Trust came about, first of its kind, bum rush of attention to it because it was just something that had never been done before. Similarly with the Diamond Standard coins, bars, and now fund.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. I wondered if we can go into the market as well because I don't think that people necessarily follow it as closely. So what are we seeing in 2022?
So what's happened in 2022 since January, we actually have a chart down at the booth which has garnered a lot of attention. If you look at everything from the S&P to gold to crypto, Bitcoin, what have you, everything is down, unfortunately. Diamond Standard coins are up 6% since January. Now, the initial investors, when we first had our initial public offering for $25 million in March of last year, the coins were $5,000. So those initial investors are seeing a 34% return in the Diamond Standard coin. So it's tremendously exciting. And the individuals that are on the floor today that understand these markets, that understand Sprott, they get this, it's speaking their language, and they're heavily invested from a literal standpoint and from a figurative standpoint.
Yeah, and let's talk a little bit more about, the markets are down and the concept
Yeah.
of safety, because I think there's a role for diamonds as a safe haven. Maybe you can speak to that and help people understand.
Yeah, so when it comes to where we're purchasing the diamonds, we purchase diamonds from over 100 different countries around the world. We are held accountable to any sort of the laws that GIA certified diamonds are accountable for as well. We ingest those through the world's first and only fully transparent diamond exchange, which is a proprietary AI that Cormac has developed. Once we ingest those diamonds, we then put them into an optimizer. And the optimizer is, again, proprietary AI that determines that each of the diamond standard coins are the exact geological value in each specific diamond standard coin. And the Kimberley clause that GIA certified diamonds are held accountable to, we're held accountable to those as well.
Right. And I think that you must, you're talking about there's people who understand it, they really get it, they're interested. There are, I think, misconceptions that exist in the diamond market. I wondered if you could talk a little bit about some of those and how you deal with that.
I mean, sure. It's like, everybody, people that come, oh, De Beers owns all of the diamonds, and it's absolutely not true. That is not, De Beers doesn't hold inventory. It wouldn't make sense for their business model. They're not hoarding all of the diamonds that are out there in the world, and it's just something that doesn't make sense. For whatever reason, that seems to be the preconceived notion. It's just not the way that it is. So of those, $1.2 trillion worth of diamonds that are out there, they're absolutely out there. We're purchasing them via our proprietary technology through that transparent diamond exchange. It is all above board. It is all appropriately regulated. It's something that was very near and dear to Cormac's mind and heart when he launched Diamond Standard. He's been working on this for, the IPO was in March, but he's been working on it for about 5 or 6 years, creating all of the technologies, but we were proactively very heavily regulated by the Bermuda Monetary Authority in order to ensure that everything was above board, quarterly audited by Deloitte. So this is not something that we take lightly, and it's something that we've taken very seriously, and you can see it by the reaction of the investors and their interest in everything that we're doing at Diamond Standard.
Yeah, that's great to hear. And I do think that education is really key for something like this.
Sure.
As we are finishing up here, I know that this is not, you have lots of things planned at Diamond Standard. So if there are any future plans or other things that you want investors to know.
Sure. So we do have planned for the initial investors. There will be a peer-to-peer exchange so that they can become liquid from their initial investment, and that's coming in a few months. We've also already gotten our approvals for our futures contract on the CME. We're exploring our ETF for the Bank of Montreal, potentially traded on the Toronto Exchange. So these are things that are all planned as a suite of services, investment vehicles. The way we like to look at it is it's almost like Apple, right? All of these different investment vehicles that are communicating with each other, that are just part of the roadmap of us unlocking that $1.2 trillion market. Previously, 1% of individual investors held that 1.2 trillion. Our goal is to unlock that to about 15%. So it's about a $200 billion green pasture in front of us.
Okay, well, that sounds like a good place to wrap up. Thank you so much for coming in person to show us what's going on, and we'll check in with you guys in the future.
Thanks for having me.
Perfect. And once again, I'm Charlotte McLeod with the Investing News Network, and this is Chris Dessi with Diamond Standard.